So we are on episode number 11 of A Couple of Cuckoos, and as I was watching this episode, I was seriously struggling. And my main struggle is to not sound like a broken record, but it's almost impossible to not do that based on everything that happened this episode. Even right before right now, hitting record, I was like, man, I'm going to come in and I'm going to talk about 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. I'm going to talk about what I don't like, and then I'm just going to move on to the next thing and talk about the remainder of the episode instead of focusing on the same subject I feel like I've been focusing on 3 or 4 times now this season, which means that there has been 3 or 4 videos that I've talked in depth about this, and I've kind of beaten a dead horse. But when I started really thinking about everything else that occurred this episode, this whole entire episode was centered and focused around 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. The only thing that I can really focus outside of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸 this episode is the time that Nagi spent with 𝐒𝐲𝐽, and the time that and the moment that he spent with 𝐒𝐲𝐽, and the time that she offered him a fortune and they were studying, and then the other time that Nagi and Erika spent together, with the lights being out and them sharing a moment. But that's like a 30-second little thing that I could talk about because the rest of the episode is freaking focused around 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. So let me tell you this. If you're clicking on for the first time, you're like, yo, what is this guy rambling about? A, I'm Dom. Nice to meet you. But B, one of the things I've been saying all season long is I think A Couple of Cuckoos is a special anime. And when I mean special, I don't mean like, oh my god, it's so special. It's nothing like this has ever been done before. I think it has a really cool narrative by having 2 people who were switched at birth. And I think last episode, maybe the episode before, they introduced a twist to the episode with Erika's dad showing off that at some point Erika and Nagi had met before, or Nagi has like a twin that something terrible happened with, or their parents had this specific situation with them being betrothed very early on, and maybe they made a decision for Erika and Nagi not to meet each other till they got a little bit older, more mature, and are able to handle it. Because the reality is, if you throw in, hey, I'm not your real parents, to somebody who is 6, 7, 8 years old, they're still children. They're still so sensitive, and so they're not able to really comprehend those things. So they might have made a good parenting decision of saying, hey, these are my children, regardless if it's blood or not. These are my kids. I raised them. I changed their diapers. They're your children. You get, they are who they are. They may have just made them their parents. What I'm talking about is Erika and Nagi's parents may have just made a decision like, when they're mature, we will introduce this to them. The nothing changes in the fact that they are our kids, and the fact that they get to be betrothed means that they all get to be one big family. And they both have interaction with both of their kids. On Nagi's side, they get to have interaction with Erika, treat her like a daughter-in-law, and on the opposite side, same thing. So I really commend them for that, and that's what they're hinting towards, and I want to see more of that. But going back to the sentence I was starting is, it's special because this is something that is very not really explored, or like it's a narrative that I feel like I haven't seen before, where you have switched at birth and then them finding love with each other and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. But they introduced a third component, which they covered in just, they've exhausted me on it, which is 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. And I love 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐸. I think she is gorgeous. She is cute. She has cute mannerisms. She's an extremely cute character. She's an extremely cute little sister character. But I am not a fan of the little sister love complex narratives that happen. And they always introduce, well, but we're not by blood, so it suddenly makes it all right. And I totally get it, At the end of the day, I'm watching anime, not hentai, okay? If I want to go see a certain narrative like that, I'll go watch, I'll go watch hentai. I'll go have a good time there. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for, to be entertained and have good exploration of stories and plot and stuff. And I really, in my heart, and that's where it comes, as like a viewer and somebody who enjoys this media, as a viewer, it's like them not being related by blood doesn't change the fact that this is his baby little sister that he had, that I'm talking about Nagi in this case, that he has had for his entire life. He is viewed as his baby little sister, and she should have viewed him in the same way. Although, I will say that I totally get that, the younger sister having like respect, love, looking at their brother as like their protector. Like all those things are totally natural and normal feelings. It's when it goes to that next level of sexuality and romanticness that it becomes totally like not okay. Like it's okay to like view a brother as like your protector and everything, much like a little girl will look at her dad that way, or a little boy may look at his mom that way. All those things and feelings are totally natural, completely okay. It's when they break that line of like, hey, this isn't hentai, this is anime. Like, don't break the line, And this episode really just pushes that fact. Like, this episode, totally normal, right? So you have Sachi, she goes there, it's raining, lights are out. She makes her way back home. Nagi goes downstairs, to go and get like a flashlight or something out of the closet. He finds out that he runs into Sachi there. He accidentally slips and he falls on her. Their lips touch. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even call it like necessarily a kiss. His fucking face just falls on her, and their lips touch or whatever. And he has a totally normal reaction. He's like, "Yo, why didn't you say you were here? You should have announced yourself. Sorry for running into you. Sorry for what just happened. Like, totally forget it. Like, so weird." As a normal brother, like, yo, just forget it. Like, it's weird. And you have to imagine, you know what I mean? Like, I have 2 kids. And my 2 kids, they're, I was going to say 8 and 5. 7 and 5. And, if they kiss and love up on each other all the time, completely natural, okay? It's harmless. It's natural. They just love each other just like they do us, like we do them. You have to imagine at a lot of different touch points in their life, because they're kids, that they hugged and kissed. They've done these things before, taking a bath together and stuff. So it's like you have to imagine like Nagi's reaction in that case is like, yo, forget about it, like, because it's not something that is so weird. It's almost like an innocent way, but because she took it another way, and because she's harboring these feelings, now it pinned Nagi into a corner to have to, make a confession essentially and say he's going to treat her like a woman and blah, 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 which is totally not okay. And then him even questioning the fact like, oh, it's my baby sister, but I guess we're not blood, so I guess I'm just a stranger. It's like, bro, you're not a freaking ass stranger. You're not a stranger. You guys grew up together in the same house. Your asses were wiped next to each other. You know what I mean? Like, you're not strangers. Like, not having the blood, I don't know. It's a narrative that I'm talking in nauseum about, and it's just my least favorite thing. And I didn't like this episode. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm gonna keep watching, y'all. I do like the anime. I like it for like the core of it. It's just this specific little piece of it just totally drives it down. And I'm not a sister hater. I love Leafa. You know what I mean? I've told you guys before, I love Sword Art, I love Leafa. I don't like Date A Live Season 3, but I like Date A Live. I like that whole little narrative there. Even the whole sister stuff, I wasn't a fan of. But, I dealt with it, whatever, because I thought the rest of it was okay. Anime like My Little Sister is among them. I totally get it. You know what I mean? It's totally, at that one, the whole entire anime is about that forbidden love. Like, that's like, the anime basically says, hey, if you like this, watch. If you don't like it, don't watch, right? Totally get it. The anime where he's like a specific writer, and he has a sister that he never really sees, and she's the animator for him. I forget what the anime is called. Totally get it. Like, those ones are like, that's the point of the anime. The point of this anime is about Nagi and about Erika, and Sachi's just meant to be a little sister character, but they introduce her as a love interest along with Sagawa instead. So I guess it just kind of is what it is. All right, I'm done talking. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully next week's episode we get less Sachi. All right, peace out, my friends.